Good evening, Kentuckiana. This is Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell here at WHES 11, along with John Gordon, retired meteorologist from the National Weather Service here in Louisville. We're going to bring you an update this evening on our severe weather threat that we're expecting through the wee hours of tomorrow morning. And we can talk a little bit about also the flooding threat that we're expecting throughout the rest of the week as well. So if you are watching on Facebook Live, feel free to drop your comments below. We also have meteorologist Matt Breland in the Weather Center with us, and he's going to be kind of fielding some of those questions to us this evening. But we can bring up some of our graphics here and talk you through just the overview of the event, and then we'll talk more about the radar analysis as we go onward. But of course, we issued that weather impact alert for today several days ago, as we have been watching this storm system very closely. We were tracking those severe storms Sunday night, already looking ahead to, of course, today. And really, we have that alert in place anywhere between 8 p.m., so here soon, Eastern time, through 4 a.m. I know that's a big swath of time. You will not be seeing severe storms in your area that entire time, but we do want the Kentuckiana viewing area to be weather alert during that time frame. We're expecting severe storms, and as we've said time and time again, make sure you have several ways to receive those weather alerts. And I know you've been seeing this on your social media pages today, the last several days, the severe weather outlooks that we get from the Storm Prediction Center. We have been under that 3 or 4 out of 5 level there in the orange and the red, and the purple 5 out of 5, pretty rare, but we do have that issued, of course, for an area that has seen some very strong storms so far today. Several tornado-warned storms there, but once again, here at home in Kentuckiana, this is what we're looking at. I don't want you to focus on whether you're necessarily in a 3 or 4. We're all at that elevated risk of seeing severe storms tonight, so I do want you to stay weather alert and stay informed as we continue onward here. There's that big picture view of the Max HD radar. You can see how big this system is. We've had snow on the north side of it. We've had that warm front lifting throughout the day, giving us that warmth, giving us that humidity, that instability as well. And we've had several tornado watches off to our west, and of course tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings. A reminder, whatever you see on these kind of maps, when you're seeing those really yellow or orange polygons on our maps, you're looking at severe thunderstorm warnings. Reds are tornado warnings, and purple is confirmed tornado. That means we have eyeballs on the ground seeing that tornado in place. And I do want to bring this to you just within the past 15 minutes or so. We were expecting this. A tornado watch is in place through 2 o'clock this morning. And this is for the entire Kentuckiana viewing area here, more or less. A few counties left out of that. But we were expecting this, and that means, once again, we do want you to stay weather alert as we continue onward tonight. So, John, I want to bring you in here so we can talk about what we've been seeing so far today. We've been tracking, of course, a few of those discrete cells. You call them renegades. Down in Tennessee that have been, very supercellular there, and also packing a punch with hail and tornado threats as well. So just kind of tell the people what you've been seeing today.
Okay, so thank you. So that first cell, the one that's up there just to the southwest of Clarksville, there's some good news on that. It's still showing a lot of rotation. It's still got what you call the old-fashioned hook. But if you look to the north of there, there's a big shield of rain that has developed from storms that blew off. That's all across south of the Louisville Metro, Bowling Green, over to Russellville, Logan County. That will probably inhibit some of that energy from that cell that is rotating near Cumberland City. Now, the one that will still have some problems to watch it, but right now it's on a decreasing trend if it gets into Kentucky. Let's go to Jackson, Tennessee, right there. That cell right there is definitely the lone wolf, the renegade, the discrete cells. That's moving off to the northeast. They've been putting in hail about an inch, inch and a quarter. And definitely, if you look on the southwest side of the storm near Jackson, you see how there's almost like a curvature from the northwest rear flank downdraft, comes back around, and it's got a little hook there right now. That storm would not be good to drive under, which is a good transition. That tonight, all our action is going to be after dark.
Yes. So, I mean, we say this time and time again, if you don't have to be outdoors, out on the roads, stay at home tonight, because we're talking the threat for nighttime tornadoes and also nighttime flooding.
Yes.
And, sometimes I know people, for good reason, are worried about tornadoes and wind damage, but we also have to talk about the fact that flooding will be an increased threat later on tonight and also really throughout the week. And you'll hear us in the National Weather Service say time and time again, turn around, don't drown. Yes. Truly do not try to drive through flooded roadways, because so many flood-related deaths occur while you are in your car.
Right, exactly. Flooding is really going to become the dominant event with 2 waves of it. The first is you see that giant line that Mallory's moving around there right now, just to the east of St. Louis, that goes in towards Jonesboro in eastern Arkansas. That will slowly move east. Once that thing moves east, it's going to rain hard, very hard. You're going to have about an hour and a half, 2 hours of moderate to heavy rain. That will cause some flooding issues because of the rates are coming down so fast. And then it will linger well beyond that as we get waves and waves of this over the next several days. But for the moment, the things that are no-brainers tonight that will happen. One is we're going to get a line of storms probably between 10:30 tonight and about 3:30 in the morning. You're going to have a very heavy rain event, and you're going to have what's called spin-up tornadoes on the line. So if you look really close on that line, you will see little bumps and ridges and curvatures like a little kid's drawing in a coloring book. And on those, every time you see a little break in the line or you see a little nub in the line, you will see tornado warnings. And if you look, folks, on your favorite radar app, there is nothing but tornado warnings from St. Louis southbound. In fact, eastern Arkansas looks like a giant red crimson party there of drawing parallelograms. So that will move east. That will get into the Kentucky area metro, 11 o'clock or so. I think it's a little slow. The models are a little too fast there.
Yeah.
So I think it will get here probably around 11 o'clock. The ones of the immediate concern are those 2 cells in Tennessee for the next 2.5 hours. One that's getting close to the border, and the second one down by Jackson. That's the second one that's gone to Jackson, Tennessee. That seems to be a magnet for tornadoes, unfortunately. So we're going to have to watch that come up here to the northeast tonight. We're under the tornado watch, which is a good move. The wind advisory is still out for a while.
Yes.
And we got the flood watch for forever, basically.
Yeah. We're under that flood watch until Sunday morning, at least, because we are expecting anywhere between 6 to 10 inches of rainfall over the next several days. I do just want to take a look at a few of the other just kind of current temperatures, see what we're working with here, because as everybody knows, if you've stepped outside today, it's been very warm, it's been very windy, it's been very moist.
Yes.
You're feeling that humidity in the air, that warm front, it's been lifting, surging in all that warm, moist, unstable air. And you'll hear us talk about, different ingredients for severe weather. We need several different ingredients to come together, and we definitely have that today. Instability, shear, lift with the cold front, lots of moisture.
Yeah, this morning when you woke up, you probably thought it's not moist at all.
Oh, it's not a bad day.
It's not a bad day. The dew point's 35 degrees. Well, what is our dew point now? Oh my gosh.
61.
61.
I felt that when I walked into work because I was out early this morning, and then as I was coming into work today, I was like, whew. You can feel it.
Yeah, from Bowling Green to Louisville to Litchfield to Fort Knox, dew points have gone up some 30 degrees. So Mallory was just talking, you need lift. We have a cold front coming in.
Yes.
We have an upper level jet stream that's going to really provide an exhaust mechanism. You have tremendous moisture.
Yes.
Deep column of moisture from the surface all the way up to 30,000 feet is very, very moist. And we have instability. So one of the things we look at is the convective available potential energy, all this energy, and there's a lot of it still. And you just saw that temperature graphic she showed a moment ago. Look in St. Louis. St. Louis behind the front is in much cooler, 67, and then you see all the juicy, not only in terms of temperature, but in moisture all across Kentuckiana, and that's not going anywhere for a while.
Yeah, so the storms really have a lot to tap into. I know we talk about as we head into the nighttime hours, of course, you lose some of that daytime heating, but we still will have plenty of fuel, it seems like, to work with. And as we mentioned, all of those other ingredients, unfortunately, a lot of shear as well, or that spin that we look for your tornadoes to develop.
So at 5,000 feet, one of the things we look at is the wind speeds, and they're running about 60, 65. They're normally 30, 35. Up at 18,000 feet, the wind speeds are running about 75, 80 knots. They normally run about 50 knots. And then up at 30,000 to 40,000 feet, the winds are well over 100 knots. None of that is good. So we are all the ripe conditions. The one good thing that's happened in the last couple hours is some of those showers across the Bowling Green area.
Yeah,
that is a blessing, even though you may be under one. Maybe it's ruining your softball or something. But that will help inhibit that storm that's coming out of Clarksville, Tennessee, that's moving off to the northeast at 55 miles an hour. The next one that we're really watching, like I said, is near Jackson, Tennessee. The reason we're talking about these are discrete cells where tornadoes have more air to work with. They're in the warm sector. They have fuel. They have the instability. And then we wait for the line of red of red storms coming up from the west.
I mean, just look at all those warnings.
Yeah, there is a plethora of warnings from Alton, St. Louis, Cape Girardeau, goes down Poplar Bluff. Poor people at Poplar Bluff just had a tornado recently, and now you've got a tornado warning there. And then off to Jonesboro, down south, it goes to the Louisiana line. One thing right now, folks, please have a plan of action. There will be warnings tonight. These weather people are blowing it? No, it's going to happen tonight. We're going to have a line of storms with heavy rain, with wind, with possible flooding. You see that checklist up there. This is the time now. So later on tonight, God forbid we have a tornado warning and Mallory starts going through this, we're going to tell you, get to your safe plan of action. Have a plan.
Right.
The time is now, not when the warning is issued.
Right, and I know a lot of people have storm anxiety, and I get it. It's for good reason. Tornadoes are terrifying, but if you have that plan in place, hopefully it just takes some of that stress or that immediate panic off of you. Once that tornado warning is issued, you and your family know exactly where to go. You have that safe place figured out. Bring your pets with you. You know, if you have pets at home, think of all of that ahead of time. You have that right now. Make sure you charge your phone. If you're not charging your phone right now, charge your phone, because we will likely have some power outages with these strong winds and potential tornadoes as we head into tonight.
Yes, I would think so. I think there will be warnings, severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings tonight. There will be flash flood warnings tonight.
Yes.
So all those things on that list right there you should be doing, especially having more than one way to receive your warning.
Yes.
The power goes off. That weather radio will wake you up. If you don't know how to program it, right now is the time to do it.
Yes, yes, great tool to have. I do want to walk through one of our in-house models, and you know, we'll kind of see how it's initializing, but I know a lot of people are probably wondering, when is it going to hit my house? That's one of those questions that a lot of people tend to ask, and I get it. You want to know that exact timeline that we're preparing for. Honestly, as John and I have been saying, now through about 3 a.m., to be honest, through our entire viewing area, but we're watching for those few discrete cells down in Tennessee. Hopefully that rain shield helps us out a bit in south central Kentucky, takes some of that instability from it. But what we're watching with the line here is still looking to move in later on tonight, obviously past sunset, because sunset not too far away. 9, 10, 11 o'clock as we head into tonight. What do you think about this timing here?
Yeah, I think that's still too fast.
Yeah.
I think it's 11 o'clock into Louisville. But if you go back on the couple on there, you saw those discrete cells up ahead of it. That's what the model knows it's there. It's just too far north. There you go. Look at the stuff that's trying to come out of there, out of Butler, Ohio counties. They're a little too far north.
Right.
It's getting closer, though. And depending on that rain shield, those are the ones that we are most concerned about, the renegades. Those are the ones that do terrible damage. The main line that you see right there on the screen, that's 1130. That may be a hair. That's not bad.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad. But if you look, there's lots of little nudges and kinks all along the line. And anytime you see like a little hook or a little nub, you're going to see a tornado warning come out of the Louisville National Weather Service office.
Yes, yes.
And they're going to be watching for those little kinks under, just like what happened Sunday night in Fairdale, what happened in Bullitt County, what happened in Spencer County, Meade County. That's a very similar setup. Whereas the renegades, if they can get up here, that's a little different situation.
Yeah, different kinds of storms that we're tracking here, kind of two different waves almost, with those storms out ahead of the line and then that main line that, yes, you will get rain tonight. This line,
100%.
as we mentioned, is going to come through at the very least with strong winds, at the very most those embedded tornadoes, those little kinks in that main line that we have to pay attention to. And then once that's through, this stalls out and we could just have those waves of rain as we continue onward throughout the week. And, you know, past tonight, we're talking about that major flooding threat. This is just one model. Once again, always take weather models with a grain of salt here. But, you know, we're looking at 6 to 10 plus inches of rainfall in some spots of Kentuckiana, even higher in western Kentucky like Paducah. And for good reason. Of course, we have that flood watch in place. So it's going to be a very active setup here for the next coming days. You see a lot of red on your 7-day forecast. Those are those weather impact alerts. So for tonight, it's that main severe weather threat. Beyond today, it's more of that flooding threat. And then we finally, get that rain out of here at some point on Sunday.
We're going to have a big break.
Yes.
It'll be great joy, and the tribulation will be over. So, folks, we're going to have river problems, okay?
Yes.
The Green River is going to go to major. The Ohio will be problematic because it depends where the rain falls. Is it more upstream or downstream of Louisville?
Right.
Depending on that, will have an impact on Thunder over Louisville.
Yes.
And the Great Lawn, which may be the Great Mud Lawn or something.
No. Yeah, I know. People are already asking because we're covering thunder this year, WHAS 11. So, of course, we'll keep a close eye on that forecast once we get past all of this. But, yeah, definitely keeping an eye on our river levels as we continue onward throughout this week, because that's going to be a major concern here.
Yes, yes, indeed. So it really depends on where the heaviest rain falls in the basin, how that will affect Louisville and thunder and all that. But if you go to the southwest, the Green River, oh boy, that's really going to go into major places like Rochester Ferry and Dundee and Woodbury. That's going to be a problem. Well, here's the facts. You got a 100% chance of rain tonight, 100% chance of a line of storms moving through, and now we wait to see if those renegade supercells can get up here. That rain shield may be a blessing that some folks prayed for, so let's hope that's the case.
Matt, do you have any questions for us from the Facebook Livers?
There's been a few people asking questions regarding specifically like where the severe weather is going to be arriving, but as far as an actual in-depth question, everyone has been very diligent about asking things that you guys are answering.
Okay, that's always the hope, that we tend to answer them as we go alongward, you know. But here's that once again latest look at the radar. So we've been tracking a few of those cells. I know there's a lot going on this, so I try to keep it as simplistic as possible. But
so like this in Kentucky now, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning that covers in the southwestern part of Kentucky, just west of it's going into the bowl. That's Logan County, Simpson, over there to Todd County. So that's going to be for wind, and those are the areas right now to see if they can get any low-level rotation on there. That's actually, that rain, like I tell you, is a blessing. An hour and a half ago, we were really worried about that getting up into Breckenridge and Grayson counties. We'll just have to see a new one, a series of new ones that are forming in western Tennessee. That one by Jackson continues to move off to the northeast. That may be a problem. So pay attention, be weather aware. One thing I can tell you, if there is the worst of it is in eastern Arkansas, western Tennessee, northern Mississippi. That is under a tremendous tornado threat compared to us, but we are certainly not out of the woods. You see all,
right,
look at them all.
So many polygons. And I mean, that really lines up with the SPC outlook.
Yes.
For that high risk. They really did. They really did. So once again, Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell here with John Gordon, retired meteorologist from the National Weather Service. He's joining our team here to help us get through the night and, you know, the coming storms as we head throughout this week. We're going to do another one of these lives in not too long, around 8:30. So feel free to join us then. We'll kind of discuss what we're seeing on radar at that point. And as you know, if any tornado warnings do occur within our Kentuckiana viewing area, we will be cutting into our ABC feed. And also, we'll be streaming that live as well. So you can get that on Facebook, on our 11 Plus app as well. Take the time now to charge your devices. Download the WHAS 11 app. If you lose power and you can't catch us on TV, you can watch the stream there and just go over that safe place with your family. Take a deep breath. We will get through this. We got this.
That's exactly right. Plan right now.
Yes.
Have a family meeting about what you're going to do if a warning gets issued for your area. Talk to your kids. Have a plan. Hopefully you won't have to execute it.
Yep. And we will see you back here in about a half hour.